Okay, deck tech. So, I'm going to be doing another 5 2-man set, uh, just because the leagues are closing and these, and I also want to try a number of different ideas. I wanted to try a number of different ideas. Um, yeah, and didn't necessarily want to like back out of a league just because I made some changes. But this is kind of the core. This is really the fundamental core of the deck. Because basically what happened is I I basically have moved away from Ephemerate again because I just feel like I need to be more proactive. I don't want to just auto lose to control. And this is what we kind of ultimately end up settling on. So I'm gonna do the deck tech this way instead of instead of like going starting out. But so I think the first version of this deck played Amaria's Call, which I guess I can sell back now because I think this is kind of failed experiment. I mean, somewhat. I don't know. Maybe I wrote it off too soon. But I basically had these instead of the Tectonic Edges. Yeah, and then at some point I think the Tectonic Edges turned into Ghost Quarters because I started trying out main deck. Main deck even Mind Sensor instead of the main deck Flicker Wisp. I think the first version had Amaria, Mind Sensor in the sideboard and Flicker Wisp in the main. So basically this version just with Amaria and then Mind Sensor in the sideboard. And I think 4 Chalices instead of 3, and 3 Rest in Pieces. Yeah, we all know Rest in Peace. Yeah, so I had 3 Rest in Peace. I prefer 3 Rest in Peace if I'm only going to have 3 Graveyard Hate cards. I want them to be generally more powerful, but Relic is just a better 4 of, just cycles and all that. And, you get value no matter what if you crack it, even if they don't draw their graveyard cards. But anyway, so let's see. And then, of course, Aven, Mind Sensor. We all know this, this bad boy or bad girl, whatever the gender of Mind Sensor is. Yeah, I think this will. I mean, this was a neat idea because what we had Ghost Quarter in here for a while and Field of Ruin, and the idea was maybe we can color screw them. It's just the problem is like against some decks like Tron, sure that can be great, but then if you don't draw even Mind Sensor, I mean sometimes you have to use like your these land hate cards before you drive in Mind Sensor, and then even Mind Sensor is kind of just 3 mana 2/1. They can also usually crack most of their fetches before even Mind Sensor comes down. Like it's not a bad card, and I like having access to it, and I definitely think it's better than Leonin Arbiter in this particular version. But I much prefer, I much prefer, I think to just do it this way, to basically just swap the Ghost Quarters for Tectonic Edges, because this is kind of like a more full, complete card in a sense. Like you don't go card disadvantage. You can color screw opponents easier. You can also keep decks like Tron off of just getting 6 or 7 mana, entirely instead of just Tron mana. And that's important because some decks like Scapeshift, it's not just about the particular lands you hit; it's also the quantity of lands that they have. So basically, yeah, you just replace the Ghost Quarters with Tectonic Edges, and then you could just play Flicker Wisp, and then and then you get to play Sanctum Prelate, which I think is actually an excellent addition to the deck. Instead of like playing like an even Mind Sensor in the sideboard, because Sanctum Prelate actually I really like what this offers, because if you think about it, we have a few things covered fairly well. Main thing is we have creatures covered in the form, because of Solitude and Path to Exile, no matter what the size. So what we kind of need help with more is non-creature spells. And even non-creature spells we mostly have covered, like Skyclave for 4 or less, Chalice on 1 or 0, or even sometimes 2, and Archon, well not Archon, but yeah, like we kind of have a lot of our bases covered. What we don't necessarily have covered are big non-creature spells, like Scapeshift, like Bring to Light, like I'm trying to think. Tybalt, Cosmic, Imposter. I don't even know. Supreme Verdict. Yeah, Supreme Verdict is a good one. Like, there's a lot of like higher converted mana cost you know, non-creature spells. I mean, heck, even Torpor Orb, which this card doesn't remove Torpor Orb, and obviously Torpor Orb prevents Skyclave from being able to deal with it, so Torpor Orb's a nightmare for this deck. But Sanctum Prelate, you know, you could name either 4 for making it so they can't get a Karn the Great Creator, or 2 so that if they got Torpor Orb, maybe you can at least prevent it from coming down. But I just like the way that this gives us a lot of play against. Also, like, you know, it's just against a lot of decks. I mean, Burn, of course, but also Mill. Think about Mill, for example. Like, you know, we were messing around with a Gaia's Blessing in the sideboard because we just really, like, it was actually kind of disheartening that we just actually didn't really have much of a plan against Mill. Like, I even thought about playing Nevermore here. This is a card I used to play in a mono white sideboard a long time ago. The problem is that there's really 3 cards that are a huge nightmare for us in Mill. There's Archive Trap, which is probably the worst, at least if they Field of Ruin us, and we've got a lot of non-basics to field, or if we play Field of Ruin, or if we search with Stoneforge Mystic. We actually have a lot of search effects, so it's Archive Trap's probably the worst, a free 13 mana Mill spell. Then probably Fractured Sanity, you know, 3 mana, Mill 14. It's very powerful. And then Tasha's Hideous Laughter, which can mill, well, maybe not as many as other decks we've played because we do have Solitude, but we do have 24 lands now, which is a little bit more concerning. I mean, it helps us curve out better. It helps us, sorry if you see this little screen here. I'm not sure if that shows up or not, but there was a little pop-up blocking. I assumed it wouldn't show, but my apologies if it was up there longer than it should have. But yeah, the problem is 3 cards you're gonna name. At least with Sanctum Prelate, if you name 3, then you prevent. Like, honestly, they can cycle Fractured Sanity, and it's not the end of the world, but you can prevent it getting milled for 14 or getting Tasha's Hideous Laughter. You know, of course, you have to name 5 separately if you want to turn off Archive Trap. But the cool thing is, even if you name wrong, you still get a 2/2 beater, which is more than you can say for Nevermore. I mean, you know, I don't think I need to sell you all on the idea that Sanctum Prelate is probably better in this deck than Nevermore. Plus, we can't vial this in. Plus, we can sometimes name 1 against certain decks, and it makes a big problem for them. Plus, we can also, this is more incidental hate against Cascade. I'm not bringing this in primarily for Cascade, but I mean, we can name 0 against Cascade, and like now we literally have, especially like against Temur Living End, we literally have 15. Our entire sideboard is hate cards for Temur Living End, and 11 out of the 15 cards are hate for every other Cascade deck, basically. So, you know, that's got to be good. Other than that, yeah, not sure what to say. I think I like it. We've got non-basic lands completely under control between Field of Ruin and Tectonic Edge. Chalice of the Void. I think Chalice of the Void makes the most sense as a 3-of, just because, unlike these other cards, it doesn't necessarily have much of an advantage in multiples. We can't attack, you know, with more than 1 Chalice. Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't know. Sometimes we definitely want to see it early. The only deck that I think I might really regret bringing this down to a 3-of is Temur Glimpse, but I haven't seen that deck in a long time. That being said, I mean, we can still mull to it. 3, it's not like, it's a 1-card difference, and obviously, you know, every card counts when you're trying to mull to hate. But at least we're playing it as a 3-of instead of a 2-of, so it's not like unthinkable that we might see it. But it's just a really nice additional hate piece to have against Rhinos, against Temur Living End, and against Rhinos, for example. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess you know, on the draw we can't really do much to prevent them from Rhinoing. You know, the first time. I mean, we have 3 Chalices. We may or may not draw them, so we could be a little soft to that. But I think as long as they don't Rhino like 3-4 times, I think we can generally deal at least with the first Rhino, and then hopefully the second. Hopefully, like, we drop an Archon or a Sanctum, preferably an Archon, because they have to kind of have Brazen Borrower or Fury, which I guess they do have answers, but they kind of have to have those 2 for these Archons, because all their 2 mana 2 damage burn spells won't work on it. But yeah, yeah, it's cool stuff. I mean, these Cascade decks do have quite a bit of answers to our answers, though. But since we've also got this possible mana screw plan also going on with the Tectonic Edges, I'm actually kind of excited that we may actually be able to make something happen here. Yeah, something to keep in mind with Tectonic Edge is is if they're at exactly 4 lands, you can Tectonic Edge, hold priority, and respond to your own Tectonic Edge activation by using another one. So if you get 2 Tectonic Edge, you can tap 4 basically and Tectonic Edge twice, but you have to hold priority on the first one, because their land won't get destroyed until both abilities are in the stack, and that way you can take them from 4 to 2, whereas otherwise you could only take them from 4 to 3, and then that would shut off the ability to activate the other one. That's something that came up for us in Merfolk in the past, but yeah, I think there may definitely be some merit here, and obviously there is a little bit of concern of getting color screwed out of white, but you know, for one thing, of course, we've got Aether Vial, which we can take up to 3, which can get around, you know, possible double white requirements. But also it's important to note, Field of Ruin can, of course, fix its own mana if need be, just blow up on the opponent's land and then just go get a Plains, which, you know, it will be a little bit cumbersome sometimes. Yeah, but we can. It does fix its own mana. Like if you have like 2 Field of Ruins and a Plains, you can always use one of the Field of Ruins on turn 3 to just turn into a Plains, hit any non-basic they have, because most decks will play some non-basics of some kind, and you know, so there is that, and you know, and the hope is that with virtually, and here's the thing, like, unless we're relying on Aether Vial to get them out, like Flicker Wisp and Skyclave Evaporation both cost 3, right? So that means that if at worst maybe we just delay 1 turn to get them out, because Field of Ruin can always just turn itself into a basic Plains if really need be, which is nice. So you know, I mean, this definitely could be an issue, but I think the upsides of having more hate against Tron, which is a real problem actually, if you're not playing the traditional taxes package. But I think with Tectonic Age and Field of Ruin, I think we've got the tools we need to keep Tron in check. And you know, incidentally, I think we also might, we definitely also get an improved Amulet Titan matchup. We definitely get improved, you know, a lot of different matchups. We're less susceptible to Urza Saga. We're still a little susceptible early on, and of course Tectonic Edge kind of does nothing, unless there's a later Urza Saga that comes down. Obviously, if it comes down within the first 2 turns, Tectonic Edge isn't going to do that much. But I think, yeah, this actually was Ghost Quarter with this exact same configuration for a while, and then it went to Tectonic Edge. It is theoretically possible Ghost Quarter might be better if there's like a ton of Urza Saga decks that we see, but I am worried about falling too behind on mana early in the game, yeah, and I do like the way Tectonic Edge in theory can color screw them, and unlike Field of Ruin, it cuts them off of a total number of lands. So, you know, not just colored sources, it cuts them off of like actual land count for, like, you know, Tron hitting its higher curve and Living End, you know, or not Living End, Scapeshift hitting its Valakut triggers. So, you know, we shall see, I guess, but I think there is potential here. This is definitely not there definitely can be potential here, let's put it that way. Anyway, let's see how this goes. And also, nice thing, Flicker Wisp can hit an Urza token and just kill it outright too, so there's also that. But anyway, alright, let's see how this goes. I think, yeah, this should be good. Alright, match 1, we're on the play. Let's see here. Yeah, match 1, we're on the play. Let's see what if we keep this hand. I think we do. Yeah. I kind of like the way this this is Secluded Steppe instead of Thraben Inspector. Although Thraben Inspector would be a pretty good curve out, admittedly. Yeah, I think we have to cycle this though, because there's just not much going on in our hand otherwise. In order to play, I think, all of these Ghost Quarter effects, though, we definitely need Alright. Let's see here. Oops, I meant to cycle the Secluded Steppe, but anyway, maybe it's okay. Maybe actually waiting was better. I think Sword of Fire and Ice, given that we do have Batter Skull in our hand, is a pretty decent card to drop. They may get lulled into a false sense of security, thinking that we don't have a really awesome play next turn. Okay. Yeah, let's just do this now. I could put Sword of Fire and Ice in play, but I think I'm willing to risk. I think I need to just get. Gaining life is a value against this deck too, because they may not be able to kill us if we gain too much. Alrighty. Yeah. We'll try to play Sword of Fire and Ice end of turn. It's also better if they draw like a burn spell, because we can maybe equip to Stoneforge if they deal with the Batter Skull somehow. Now we can attack with Stoneforge. I don't see the point of playing Aether Vial. If we untap, I think we basically just win anyway. So that clearly have Gifts Ungiven. Can they go off without the creatures? Okay, at all costs, we have to make sure the rituals go to the graveyard, because that's the main way they actually win. Unless they have artifact removal, they can't Grapeshot our token. And we are at 28 life, so hopefully we're out of Grapeshot range. Okay, and I've got 2 paths if they start dropping the cost-reducing creatures. Alright. I'll definitely path this in response. So we path again. No, because there's a limit to how much they can do without dropping another cost-reducing creature, which I think they will after I path that. They'll either drop another one or they'll drop a Goblin Electromancer, I think. Yeah. I could path this in response. I'm worried though that I'm going to add to the storm count. But I think now is the time though. Man, if I lose to this because because I tapped this, that would suck. I don't think they have enough to kill me, even if they remand this. I don't see how exactly they go up to 18, unless they remand, draw another grape shot, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. Well, oh yeah, I guess they could have Pass in Flames. Oh man, you gotta be kidding me. Well, they had the perfect hand. There was no way I could play around this. Because even if I path the thing in response, they could have just played the Electromancer. Now they're just trolling me. Get lost. I guess their troll is in their name. Alright, hopefully we humble them. We've got like a gazillion hate cards. Alrighty. I don't think Flicker Wisp is that necessary. Spectacular Evaporation is not as good when it's not at instant speed. Wall of Omens is also not as good without as many blink effects. We'll cut down this. Maybe we can play a 1 of even Mind Sensor. Seems reasonable to me. We could even try to up the Aven Mind Sensors, but I don't think it's necessary. They don't really search their deck much unless they play Solve the Equation. And of course I could hit them with my land destruction spells, but you know how that goes. Okay. Yeah, Rest in Peace I think does good work. Plus Archon just shuts them down. They need Lightning Bolt. Alright, let's play this just so we don't take a damage. Alrighty. I like having even Mind Sensor back in the mix. Sometimes having land destruction can be pretty good. Maybe Sanctum Prelate's better than Archon, though. Yeah, probably. Not in this matchup, actually. Although, actually, Archon on 2 could just get bolted, though. But then again, this can just get bolted. Let's play Rest in Peace, because, like, we can just violin a Stoneforge next turn. Yeah, I think I'll make a subtle change in the deck tech, actually. I haven't done the deck tech yet. I'm going to wait until I might make some small changes. Alrighty. Well, let's Archon it up. Alrighty. Archon it up. Should I put file to 3? Basically all my 3-drops are out of the deck, so probably not. We'll get Sword of Fire and Ice. I'll say always no. Alright. Well, it just so happens we drew our only other 3-drop, basically. We can use Charming Prince to save our Archon, if need be. I think this is going to cause them to have a little bit of a hard time. They can't play another spell, so whippy, whippy. Alrighty. Bayroll, that's fine. I shouldn't have waited till end of turn. Well, anyway. Alrighty. Well, let's do it. Alrighty. Now let's Charming Prince that. Alright, they concede. Alright, let's run it back. I think even Mind Sensor is the most main deckable of these effects. I am wondering about the merits of Sanctum Prelate. Problem is Sanctum Prelate against the Cascade decks, it gets hit by the 2 damage removal spells more. We could name 2, but then we're not naming 0 to cut off the rhinos. So can't prevent Fury from doing its thing either. It's possible that maybe shutting off, playing multiple spells, and playing even Mind Sensor is enough. It's also possible we might not need even Mind Sensor, and we could just play Sanctum Prelate in addition to Archon. Because like another cool thing about having so many Ghost Quarter, Path, whatever effects is that we may run them out of basics. It's very possible. Okay. Alrighty. It is very possible. Alrighty, well. I could path that, but yeah, I think let's rest in peace. And let's just Solitude on our turn. So they don't remand or anything. Play this out, you know, so that they can't counter it or what have you. I think we're gonna go Always No Yes. I'm gonna wait, I think, to play Chalice on 2. Although, yeah, all it does is shut off Path for us. But Chalice on 1 is not gonna win the game, and if they had Serum Visions and whatnot, you'd think they would have played it. The only problem is Chalice on 2 is going to shut off Chalice on 1. I have no idea why they would wait till our turn to do this, but so be it. It also shuts off a Braid, playing Chalice on 2. And we can, you know, use our Aether Vial. Well, let's see if we can land Chalice on 2, then I think we're basically... Alright, nice. I think that's basically GG. It even shuts off a Braid. Alrighty. We definitely want to play our 2 drops using Aether Vial. Of course. Go figure. If we played Sanctum Prelate on a 1. But Sanctum Prelate also affects us, doesn't it? Yeah, it also affects us. I'm probably just going to try Sanctum Prelate in addition to Aven Mind Sensor next time. See how many basics they really have. Okay. Well, gotta play our big payoff cards. We could play Chalice on 3 at some point, but yeah, and I guess that is probably better than playing. Well, Chalice on 2 won't shut off another Chalice on 2 for what it's worth, so maybe I should have just played a backup Chalice on 2 actually. But the Shattering Spree, like Wish and the Shattering Spree seems like one of their most likely candidates to I'm going to try to end step Solitude. I don't like this thing hanging around. See, they are going for a Wish, I think. I don't want to give them Opt. I guess I'll give them Spire Bluff Canal and Shivan Reef. Oops, but that enters a graveyard. I wonder why they didn't do that at the end of our turn. Yo. Alright, let's see. You know, these could be Mistress Factories. Alrighty. I think they would have remanded Solitude if they had it. Celindy. Come on, Celindy. Let's, I guess, save it. I mean, why not, right? We need a clock, and I don't think it gets that much better than Charming Prince saving this. Plus, if they play any other creature this turn, the Solitude will come back and kill it, thereby disincentivizing them to play said creature. Well, I mean, I guess that gets countered anyway, so never mind. Alrighty. Let's see. Let's see. Da, 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 da. This can't be remanded, so at least that. Not sure exactly what they can string together. Alright, we humbled the troll. Cool stuff. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, that was a kind of a sick game one from them, but, you know, we got it back. Alright. Alright, match one, we're on the play. I think we're on the play. Or match two, sorry. Yeah, match two, we're on the play. I think this player is on Tron. I think we played them before. So I guess with Field of Ruin on the play, this might be good enough. With Avid Mind Sensor and Ghost Quarter in the mix, which, by the way, yeah, just a couple small adjustments. I just replaced Flicker Wisp with main deck Avid Mind Sensor, and then I decided to add Sanctum Prelate. Like, Flicker Wisp seems good, but I think Avid Mind Sensor kind of just synergizes with the rest of the deck a little bit more even. Alrighty. Yeah, I just like the way Avid Mind Sensor really rewards me for playing these Ghost Quarter effects. And it actually lets me say taxes again. Oh, never mind. This is okay. Okay, should we play Prince? I don't think that's necessary. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, we didn't need that extra land. We're gonna have to dump out a Skyclave if, yep, we have to dump out a Skyclave for sure. And most likely I'll just say always no, yes. Unless I draw another. Okay. Yeah, gotta go Skyclave. Go Skyclave. Go close Skyclave Apparition. Alrighty. Well, I guess we can flicker this. I mean, what else? What else can we do in the face of this? They actually went nuts in a previous game, so can't let that happen. Much rather have them have 3/3s than whatever else they might be doing. Let's just cycle this. Okay, can't play that just yet. Well, actually, I guess we can. Yeah, have anything else to do yet? So we'll turn off, because we may want to put 1 to 3 and then the other to 2. All right. Let's see. So I kind of want to get Sword of Fire and Ice, but I'm worried that might be a little bit greedy, but I don't think it is. I think we kind of have to. Alright, so we're going to tick up. Yes. And yes. Okay. I'm worried about Collected Company, so I think we will just pass, even though we're missing out on damage. Because, I mean, what else could they have, having completely open mana at the end of their turn? 3 cards in hand. It's got to be Collected Company. Either that or a nasty Court of Calling would be in our future. A nasty chord. And we could Skyclave Apparition something again, which is definitely always nice. Sometimes they don't really have lands that are really worth hitting, though. Okay, what's this going to be? Well, I think we absolutely have to do something about that. Don't want them casting stuff, drawing cards. Ooh, they could start going nuts. Okay, let's see. Alright, well, let's put in Caldera, because then if we draw a land, we could really potentially go nuts. I'm going to keep this on 2, always no yes, always no no. They could still Collected Company, so I'm not going to bite. I'm not biting. Or maybe I should bite, because this card is cast, right? Well, yeah, I guess I got Skyclave, so it's like not the end of the world. Even if I do bite. I mean, we do actually have to win the game, and who knows what could be in their hand. Yep, okay. Skyclave, yum. Flicker Wisp might just be better. And then we might not even really need a Mind Sensor. Mind Sensor might be kind of a trap. I mean, we could just run them out of basics anyway. That might just be the plan. In certain matchups, at least. And even Mind Sensor can really put the screws on, though, especially with the fetch lands the opponent plays. But it's just so easily bolted, it doesn't get immediate value. That's a big problem. On the other hand, sometimes Flicker Wisp doesn't actually have a good target. Yeah, sometimes Flicker Wisp doesn't actually have a good target. And Mind Sensor can just be insanely good in some matchups. Realm Walker. I could have exiled in response, but I'm not sure exactly what their play is here. Oh, okay. Craterhoof. Well, we can exile the Elvish Mystic in response. I guess that's our best play. That decreases the overall pump. And also this card doesn't get pumped. Alright, I think we survive. Let's see. I think we go 1, 2. I guess we'll do this one too, but I mean, them getting a 1/1 isn't exactly the best for us. Alright, so 6 plus 8, we go down to 18. Silent Clearing kills us. Yeah, I think that's fine. If we put this in. Kind of had a feeling I should have kept Caldera back, but I couldn't quite prove it. I need like Solitude or something. Let's see. Oh man, Craterhoof sticks around. I didn't realize that. But it doesn't have Trample though. Oh, I just threw the game. Alrighty. Oh, dang it. Well, I can play Archon. I mean, Path is still pretty good. And we know from another game that they are in fact playing. Yeah. Archon of America. Yeah. I think this is. We're not going to overboard. We brought in Chalice once in a previous matchup. I just don't think that's the way to go. I just don't think so. But you know, even Mind Sensor brings one very important thing to the table. Even when we don't have Aether Vial, it has Flash. Sure, it doesn't give us immediate value, like Flicker Wisp might. But it does. Flicker Wisp, as we know, doesn't always give us immediate value. It does sometimes, but not always. But what even Mind Sensor does. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get a mulligan this, because no, yeah. Alright, this is much better. See, and like these blink effects are just not as great when we don't have Aether Vial. So I'm gonna put Charming Prince to the bottom. The blink effects are just not as great, period. Flicker Wisp is great at tokens. It can randomly reset Solitude sometimes. It is a fairly good beater. Alright, well. At least we have a pretty good blocker now. And we draw a card. Yeah, well, see, and Wall of Omens plus Charming Prince is way better than Charming Prince without Wall of Omens as well. I'm really kind of leaning towards maybe just playing Flicker Wisp and just using the Ghost Quarters to run them out of basics, and to just completely have Urza Saga under control. I don't like this. I'm gonna get rid of Elvish Warrior. This also stops them from going off. Alright, Archon time. Archon time. Alright, well at least they can't play other stuff in addition to that. Hopefully they can't, okay. Well, Solitude could be worse. Would love to pitch it, but oh yeah. This player always has Abrupt Decay, in my experience. And lead the Stampede. Alrighty, I guess Elvish Visionary. That's a lot of stuff. Well, we can path on upkeep, but that's not gonna, that alone's not gonna do it. Okay. And one small change. Let's see. Match 2. This is actually match 3. Just labeling my last match, but yeah. So yeah, just one small change. I'm just so yeah, we'll keep. Let's see here. Laris. The good news is the 2-mans are pretty representative of the leagues because there is no more leagues. Right now, at least. Well, this will probably just get removed, but I think a friendly neighborhood Batterskull is in order. Okay, well, yeah, I was going to say Path is okay, Fatal Push is less okay, but we'll still live. Hammer time! Hammy, hammy, hammy. Alright, well, how about this? How about we Skyclave that Pure Steel? Sounds good to me. Alrighty. Hammer. We could flick the, yeah, let's flick. Well, should we flick the, Skyclave? Probably. Alrighty. We could also flick our land and then put Batterskull in play, but let's not. I think let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We need to just keep the board clear of problems. Alrighty. Gotta love that. See, even Mind Sensor can't do that. And I'm just cloaking Field of Ruin. But yeah, I definitely like having Ghost Quarter and Field of Ruin for their Sagatastic adventures. Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, that's acceptable. Sigarda, hey, Sigarda USA. I want them to go for it, so I'm going to try to block. Alright, and that's fine. We'll path that. Nice to have hard removal here. Okay, and we can. The nice thing is we can hold up we can hold up Batterskull and playing Solitude in a turn, which is very nice. Whichever one tickles our fancy more. Well, they don't actually have another artifact yet. So let's Solitude, because we've gotta keep this board clear of these type of things. They do so many of these so many of their Haymaker cards, but thankfully we have a lot of removal. They still instantly leave the game, even though we won. Yeah, Sanctum Prelate in this matchup might be better than Chalice. Sanctum Prelate still cuts off our path, though. Chalice and 0 on the play is insanely good. Path to Exile is insanely good, though. Yeah, but what is Sanctum Prelate doing if it's not shutting off one? Of course, the biggest problem with Sanctum Prelate is that it doesn't stop Stoneforge Mystic from putting stuff in. I mean, at the end of the day, the rest of the deck, we might just be kind of mainboarded. Yeah, I'm just calling it. I'm just running it back. Chalice is basically the same thing as Sanctum Prelate. We can run back. We can run back. Just trying to think here. What's the card saying? Yeah, so double path doesn't get that much better than this. Double Field of Rune. Well, we can't stop the Urza Saga, but it will only at most be able to get 1 token. Actually, no, I won't be able. Oh yeah, actually, it could get 2. Oh man. Yeah, this is a good start for them. This is a good start for them. Because now they can start making tokens. But we can flick the tokens, though, at least. And we do have Field of Rune, but that's going to come online kind of late. If we had Ghost Quarter, we'd probably just fire it off. I think I have to path here as a token. Otherwise, I think I just take too much damage. No way. That's an insane amount of damage to take. No, I don't want to take that much damage. I suppose I could chump with Wall of Omens, but Wall of Omens is like a kind of engine card of sorts. Alrighty. Okay, let's see here. I think I have to try to blink the other token. Except the problem is I don't have enough white mana. Which I guess means that I have to play Wall of Omens. No, this is like not good. I'm gonna path the construct again. I hate having to do this, because Flicker Wisp would have been such a better option, but, you know, it is what it is. I could have played Ghost Quarter, but I don't want to go down on lands. Let's see here. Yeah, I think this is a good one. We don't have Sigarda's Aid. Alright, at least I can block that with a wall. Unless they attach with Shadow Spear, which they probably will. Okay. Alright. This comes into play. So here's what I can do. I can go boom. And I can Skyclave Apparition this. That seems reasonable. Let's see here. What is this? Okay, well, that's fine. Let's see, what should I do? I could hit this, but I think I think I need to, for now at least, just hit my Wall of Omens. I'm okay to trade 1 for 1. Alrighty. Okay. Probably I'll want to Field of Ruin that instead if possible. Yes. Let's see here. What's this here? What are they doing? Another Stoneforge. Prismatic Ending. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, let's hit. There's a Saga. And let's attack with Charming Prince. Again, I'm fine to trade, if that's what they want to do. Alrighty. Definitely need to go get Luris. Okay, we got some protection against the Garda's Aid too, which is nice. Man, this game is going to go on for a while though. Okay, let's see. Okay. More hammers, I'm guessing. I don't think I really need that many hammers. It's Wall of Omens, shall we? Let's attack. Alright, let's play Flicker Wisp. I think Wall of Omens would be our best jazz. It doesn't matter whether we cycle into turn or whatever. Alrighty. Mistress Bauble, fine. Oh, that's gonna eat a Ghost Quarter. Okay, alrighty, taking it down against Hammer Time. The more controlling version of white. Alright. Alrighty. Alright, I think it's recording. I got kind of a glitchy screen, but anyway, let's see. Let's see if this records. Well, let's keep. Hopefully we're not playing Tron, although it would be a good opportunity to test out if the eight you know, land hate cards will help out. Let's see. And, you know, Aether Vial, always nice. Ooh, looks like Gobbos. Gobbos. Maybe let's play Mortar Pod. Or yeah, excuse me. Just I'm not sure if this is recording, but I'm a little concerned about something going on with my internet, but I do seem to be connected. Obviously, the game is going forward, so all right. I can probably afford to take. They've got a Mog Fanatic. I've got a little Mog Fanatic of sorts. I do very much like this art. This is nice. Ooh, Goblin Crater Makey. Crady Makey. I can probably get away with blocking the Crater Maker next turn and then sniping the Fanatic. Well, I don't think there's a reason not to attack. Well, I guess they're worried about... Yeah, they're worried about, So I could zap this, reset the Mortar Pod. I've definitely heard of worse things. Yeah, well, let's zap this. Actually, I can just, I think, blink with the Wall of Omens. It's probably better. Alrighty. I could have put Stoneforge in play, but they'll just kill it with Goblin Crater Maker. So I kind of like the idea of getting some guaranteed card advantage. Not bad. Should I take Vial to 3, assuming that they let me untap with it? That is the question. I don't think they'll let me untap with it, though. Alrighty. Well, I think we can block with the Flicker Wisp. Alrighty. let's get this out of the way preemptively, and let's try to absorb this damage too. Although I guess, yeah, but if they do this, then this lives. So yeah, good. I think that's probably ideal. Alright, that's fine. See, I could do Stoneforge Mystic, and then equip Mortar Pod. Seems kind of good to me. Yeah, that's gotta be Batterskull. Batterskull, I think, just ends the game if it lets it do its thing. Actually, so I think I'm gonna equip the Stoneforge. And I'll attack. This way, if they try to kill the Stoneforge, I'll respond by sacking, so I get some pseudo card advantage, which is always nice. Alrighty, Goblin Guide. Well, that works for me. Oh, Goblin Bushwhacker. I still think I have pretty good blocks. Yeah, I can just play the Batterskull. Well, I definitely want to absorb this. And it could just take 5. Yeah, I think I'll just take 5. Or 6, I guess. Alrighty. Don't want to try to triple bolt, so maybe I won't play Flicker Wisp. I think I'll Field Ruin that. On their upkeep or end of game, it's the same thing. Yeah, I'll hit this. Very powerful land for them, needless to say. Goblin Grenade. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to respond by pathing this, because I'm worried they're going to have another Goblin Grenade. Actually, I'm just going to do this. So this can hopefully prevent them from double Goblin Grenading me. This is not a Goblin. They could play another 1-drop Goblin into Goblin Grenade. Alrighty. Maybe I'll just do this just to be mana efficient. Let's just try to gain maximum life here by doing this. Make my own super duper Sarah Angel. Alrighty. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Goblin pile driver. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see here. I could Skyclave that. Yeah, just so I can avoid any type of weirdness. And then I can equip the skull. Okay. Alrighty, let's see here. A little bit concerned about Goblin Grenade, but Path is super good too. So the creatures are very solid. Chalice of the Void. Sanctum Prelate can block though, Chalice of the Void can't. Yeah, maybe Sanctum Prelate. And this will shut off my own path though. It might be worth it by the time this comes online. Yeah, Flicker Wisp can be good, but maybe it's a little bit speculative. Yeah, let's do this. Sanctum Prelate can defend itself from bolts and protect me from Goblin Grenades. Which is very appreciated. Okay. Well, this hand's got a lot of defense. Definitely liking that. I think we need to play this as a land. Alrighty. Burning Tree. Bushwhacker. I think we're going to Solitude. Pitching Sanctum Prelate. Alrighty. Alright, let's see. I probably am going to use both these paths if I can, and then Sanctum Prelate on one. Alrighty. Just in case they have mutagenic growth or something. Looking for their special snow-covered racing mountain. And just so they know. Alright, well, let's get rid of this too, because I'm going to Sanctum Prelate on one. It's also going to shut off our Aether Vial, but I think it'll be worth it. Oh, man. No, maybe we'll use one path first before... Oh, man. Okay, well, this isn't too bad. Let's gain 3 life. In this type of matchup, this is super important to gain 3 life. It won't always be important, but in this matchup, very, very good. And I'll hold up path. And again, I will probably use it so that I don't shut it off. And I'll probably trade with a Foundry Street Denizen. Goblin Grenade. I'm going to call this Mono Red 8 Whack Goblins. Hey, come on. Alright, Burning Tree Emissary, that's fine. I may want to sacrifice the Crater Maker. Alrighty. Alright, let's Skyclave. Let's go after the Crater Maker, because if they sack in response, I won't get a token. Which is definitely nice. Alrighty. Man, see, in an alternate universe where this was Thraben Inspector, we wouldn't have curved out and been able to do almost anything. I mean, we would have been able to draw a card, but we would have just been 2 mana screwed, probably. That would have just been that. Okay, what's it gonna be? Oh, but they conceded? Oh, okay, I guess this is concession lag. Wow, okay. Alright, cool stuff. Okay. Match 5. Just one final change. We're trying out Tectonic Edge instead of Ghost Quarter. You know, just I think being able to actually keep the opponent off lands may be very powerful. We do lose a little bit of the ability to fix our own colored mana, and we lose the ability to interact with basics that the opponent enchants with, like Utopia Sprawl. But I think against most decks, I think Tectonic Edge is probably going to be better. Yeah, let's definitely cycle the Secluded Steppe. I love these cycle lands because they just help you hit your other stuff so much. They're playing this in their living end deck. That's a little odd. Alright. We need to just get on board. Prowess doesn't actually hit anything except, I guess, for grief. I mean, Skyclave that is. I don't know exactly what I'm going for here, but it's not these. Yeah, our ability to color screw them definitely could be increased. Well, I mean, that is better than nothing. Hopefully they go for it. No, they decide to juice up the graveyard some more. Alrighty. I think I'm going to call it. But yeah, even though it may not necessarily come up, this game, the increased ability for Tectonic Edge to color screw is definitely something. So we can bring in actually every single card in the sideboard. Go figure. So definitely Path is okay, but I think we can do better. Wall of Omens is okay, but we can do better. Skyclave Apparition is really bad. Path to Exile could be good. Could be, but yeah, maybe we take out Flicker Wisp. And Flicker Wisp, though, is a good clock. And it can reset our Solitude. Here, I got a better idea. How about we take out all this stuff, and all we really care about is Caldera, so yeah, let's do this. We need the creatures, though, because we actually need to have a clock to win. Yeah, all I think I really need is Caldera from Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, I think this is good. I think I may have to play out Relic though, both to play around Grief and just due to the fact that my next land is Secluded Steppe, which I may not be able to play untapped. I may not be able to play a land untapped next turn. Oh, yep, and I dodged Grief. Yeah, that sucks. But better than them taking a Relic, that's for sure. Okay. Should I play Charming Prince? I think the answer is no. I do not want to expose this to getting a Foundation Breaker without me drawing a card, because there's a very high chance I could draw into another better hate card even. Nice. Play Charming Prince. Let's lead off on Charming Prince and see what happens. Sanctum Prelate is fan-frickin-tastic. Let's put this to the bottom. This to the top, and we have to keep Relic untapped. Maybe I should have played Aether Vial. In the long run, it's kind of a better investment. Show us what you got. Okay. Alright, I'll attack. I will probably just play out the Prelate. Only way this gets screwed over is if they have Solitude, which they might. So why actually expose myself, right? Yeah, why expose myself? Alrighty. Alright, let's see. I think I'll wait on playing Sanctum Prelate. I'll play this and I'll play it next turn. I don't like playing out the Secluded Steppes, but I also don't want to just sit on my hate cards. Alrighty. Now what? Alright, bye-bye Sanctum Prelate. If they go for it. Okay. Alrighty. Well, since I have Chalice, I think I'll be okay. Alrighty. I say let's hit this. Yeah, no red. Nice. Nice. Archon of Emeria. That's a pretty good card. I can actually flash it in response to a cascade spell they play, which seems pretty good, but they're going to definitely suspect something with Flicker Wisp. I just don't want this to get solituded. You know, I'll just play out Solitude. I'll play out Solitude and Archon. And then I'll have Flicker Wisp as a protection for Archon and for Chalice. Technically, I have Flicker Wisp as protection for Chalice anyway. Yes, alright. Archon of Emeria. Okay. Alright, leave this on 3. And if we rip a land, then I think we just attack for lethal. Alright, we attack for lethal. Alrighty. Very sweet. Alright, that's fine. I just want to protect maybe Archon from like Fury, and then I can hold up Flicker Wisp to protect from there on out. It's pretty good to me. this is going to get countered. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Okay, dokie. Yeah, let's run it. Let's run it back. We're a little bit vulnerable to like Ignat Cheever or even more so Force of Vigor, but I think it's not too bad. Alright, let's go. Sanctum Priest. Sanctum Prelate. Human Priest or human... I don't know. Alright, well. We've got Relic, and we've got the more heavy hitting hit cards. So let's see. Definitely want to play the Cave. And we have to play this now because if they cycle too much, they might draw Force Negation, and they might draw into Grief. So, and here, if they Grief this now, then they're not really going to be able to get a big turn the next turn, and then maybe we can drop Archon or Sanctum or both. Alrighty. That is fine. That is fine, that is fine, that is fine, that is fine, that is fine. Okay, yeah. I mean, they can maybe, the worst case scenario, they cycle like 4 Street Wraiths. The last holdover of like really broken nonsense. Unless they have 2 Griefs or a Grief and a Solitude, or a Solitude and or 2 Solitudes, then definitely we've got a shot. And Grief would be a worst case scenario actually. Grief into reanimating, because then they could also take. Okay, good. But that is kind of the idea, is that maybe Relic distracts them from being able to. Okay. I think I'm gonna play Archon. I really hope they don't have Solitude. Okay, thank goodness. Alrighty. I might opt not to attack with Archon because if they block with Brazen Borrower, that'll be a big problem. Alrighty. Alright, well let's They may have petty theft. Huh. I was not necessarily expecting this, but at least maybe my Archon is slightly better. Okay, we don't want to reveal that we got nothing. Hopefully they're not packing Fury. Ooh. Well, my Sanctum Prelate comes back at least. This isn't that bad. This is also indestructible. Two, three, four, five. Could start equipping this, doing good things. Hey, that's not bad. Yeah, let's just play this out. Just so they don't hard cast a Alright, let's see. I will probably happily trade with the Solitude, but maybe not. I probably should have. Especially since Brazen Borrower. I don't know. If I can draw a land, though, for Keldra, then yeah, this is going to be epic. Gotta love it. But can they actually kill us? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't think so. Yeah, this was a close one. Maybe I shouldn't have cycled the Secluded Steppe. But then again, I wouldn't have drawn the Solitude. No, unless I miscalculated. It's 11. It's not going to be enough. They're probably looking for another petty theft. But maybe if I attack with the cave, then even petty theft won't save them. Maybe. I'm gonna try it. So what could they have? Okay, they just conceded. Nice. Alright, very nice. Alrighty, let's get to the wrap up. Let's see here. Yeah. Alright, post-league wrap up, or post-pseudo-league wrap up. you know, a 5 2-man set. So so yeah, Temur Living End, that was a good way to end this off. Definitely having all 15 sideboard cards definitely came in handy there. And this is a virtual 4-1 basically, which is always nice. Now, of course, I did actually face Tron a few times. I faced, yeah. So like I played some matches before I started I guess with this most recent build. And actually, one of the reasons why I went on this 8 land destruction package was because I faced Tron twice. Actually, I won once, but I felt like that was kind of lucky. I'm actually not 100% sure. I might have lost twice. I don't know why. I can't remember whether I won or lost, but I faced Tron. I faced Tron twice. Both games, even if I won one game, it was quite an eye-opening realization that I was very soft if I only had Field of Ruin. So that's kind of what set me off on this path. And so basically since then, since then it's a virtual 4-1. Big since, you know, the leagues are closing, a lot of people are going into the 2-mans. So yeah, you know, we'll see how the next season shapes up. But I mean, hey, the only deck we lost to was Elves, and I think, you know, in another universe we definitely have more, definitely have a better potential to beat Elves. I think I misplayed too, if I remember correctly, pretty egregiously, but you know, I faced another Elf deck too, so maybe it could have been that one. That's not recorded. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, I guess not sure what else to say other than that. I think this is a very nice proactive configuration, 24 lands, so we should be able to curve out, you know, pretty without too much difficulty. And you know, it's got the secluded steps, so we'll never flood too bad. And yeah, I really do like this, and we will see if we can maybe get a trophy next season with this deck. I think this has more bases covered than ever thanks to Sanctum Prelate and Tectonic Edge. So I guess we'll just have to see. All right, take care, everybody. Until next time, if you like this, then subscribe. And I've got more where this came from, or I've got more coming rather. All right, take care, everybody.